Welcome to round number 2. We are on the play, and we've kept a 7-card hand. We got a turn 1 Star, turn 2 Frogmite. So I think this will be nice. We'll lead with the Ancient Den. And I don't know what the opponent's playing. We've got a follow-up of Thoughtcast, some other things. No need to Thoughtcast on turn 2, I don't think. Though we could do that. We're going to end up drawing 3 cards. Red indicates... Oh, looks like it's probably a Goblins deck. So the Frogmite will be a nice stopgap. We also have the option of playing Chromatic Star, but now that we have the seat, we can actually play Frogmite and Thoughtcast for just a blue. So I think we'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. And we'll leave up Chromatic Star so we can start casting these. Maybe we draw another Frogmite. Nope, but we draw some goodies, so this will be cool. Next turn we'll have 5 artifacts on the board. We either play a Tog or leave up Galvanic Blast. We should be able to stop this early rush if he doesn't have anything too explosive here. Turn 1 Mog Fanatic is not the best play in a Goblins deck. And he's got a Gorehouse Chainwalker. So this actually looks like the red deck wins list that is typically, well, has been popularized, I suppose, by Alex Ullman of Star City. So that's what it's looking like to me. We may want to leave up Galvanic Blast here. And we have 2 Galvanic Blasts. So we can cast the Mirror Enforcer for 2. And then leave up Galvanic Blast if he tries to enchant one of his guys. So I'm actually fine attacking for 2 since he can't crack back. And then if he wants to trade the Chainwalker and the Fanatic for the Enforcer, I'm pretty cool with that as well. So let's get in for 2. This is slightly aggressive, not the best here, but we're going to cast this guy and leave up Galvanic Blast. Because I think the only way we get in a lot of trouble is if he puts the, I think it's called Furor of the Bitten. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. It's some enchantment from the Innistrad block. That'll be the primary stopping point for us, or the most antagonistic thing he can do to our deck. We've got a lot of red in hand, but we can only use one thing. Looks like he's going to just burn our guy out of the way, which is still a 2-for-1, so it's not the end of the world. And I'm fine taking 3. We don't need to use Galv Blast just yet. Go to 17. And he just passes the turn. So at this point we could blast him, but I don't think we need to. We draw another Citadel. So I'm going to attack, I think, and then play a Tog. We still need to worry about Furor of the Bitten, but at this stage we might be better off trying to get in a Tog down, and it's going to be something that he's going to have a real hard time racing. So yeah, let's attack. He may have a Lightning Bolt for this. And if he wants to bolt in a Tog, I may actually let him do that. But it depends what we draw too. We might actually draw the Thoughtcast. We might draw a Red Source. No, it would suck if we draw a Sun Chaser off of this. But I think having blue up for Thoughtcast, we do draw Sun Chaser. Wow. Yeah, we really got hosed there. So let's just go ahead and pass. And I don't think we're going to nuke a land if he tries to bolt our guy. He may have been thinking about it there. He might also have the Haste Golem, which I think is a 3-2. Pretty much nothing he has can attack into this. If he attacks here, we could go for the sack, but he might just bolt my guy in response. So we're going to take 3 again. So we might have to start playing on D if we don't get a color fixer in here. Rakdos Shred Freak on defense. He wasn't willing to attack with that. It's kind of interesting. And here we just have Sun Chaser. I think we might just take a defensive posture at this point until we draw out of this. Sun Chaser can block the Shred Freak with impunity. So do we get in? So if we attack with this, we're threatening 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Maybe we attack with the Frogmite. I'm not sure at this point. Maybe we don't attack at all. If we attack with this, I don't see him blocking, really. What is the benefit of attacking here? We attack and he has a 14, that puts him almost dead to a Tog, right? Or he trades, we lose an artifact for a Tog. But the Frogmite isn't doing anything else otherwise, so I think we might just trade it off here. We're at 14. Not the best. If he starts bolting the Sun Chaser away or whatever, that's less burn that goes to our face. I feel like I should play more defensively here and try and stabilize. So maybe that's what I'll do. So that's 5 power. Yeah, we're just going to pass. If he wants to start bolting other creatures, then that's on him. We do need to find a color fixer. We've got 9 in the deck still. Actually, we have more than that. We have, 9. 4 drums, 3 stars, and 2 prisms. And we can naturally draw a furnace, which we also have 4 more. So we're waiting for him. He's probably holding a bolt at this point. I'm just going to make sure I'm still online. Yeah. So, see, he's deciding what he wants to bolt, I suppose. And, yeah. Not sure that we want to sack a land, because we could get into the position where he's actually going to bolt the Atog in response, and then we have to sack another land. You also could have Furor of the Bitten still. Could be a problem. I mean, the whole fact that he didn't attack with this kind of says to me that he wants to block. Now we're just going to take the trade with a Frogmite. Sending both. So, what's the reasoning here? What's the rationale? He wants to get rid of the Sun Chaser, but he doesn't have a burn that's strong enough to do it. So it's another 2 for 1. And I think our life total is pretty valuable at this point. I'm going to go ahead and bite and see what happens here. I have to assume he has a way to kill the Sun Chaser after damage, but then that's another 2 for 1. And like I said, we have about 13 red sources that we can draw to take the game over. Incinerate, which is odd because she's already taken damage and she's only a 3 toughness creature, so that just seems like a misplay. And what is this? Another Shred Freak played post-combat. So I don't think this guy's playing too phenomenally. And if we just play safe enough, I feel like we can beat him. So there's the star. Now, do we want to play a Forger? Do we want to play an Atog? I don't think the Atog does anything for us. So it's either Blast or Forger. I'm going to lay out the star. We can attack 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. He's probably not going to take 11. We can sack the star to survive the Shred Freak. At this point, we can also just trade off the Atog since we have a second one. I think we'll... I think we might just pass again. I want to see what we draw, though. It's kind of bad. Like, I've been making mistakes of going to my combat set before deciding if I want to... what I'm going to draw off of this card. So going to my combat step forces me to, you know, make a move here. So I'm actually not going to attack. I think we're going to have inevitability. Hopefully. We're at a pretty high life total, so... But I'm sure we're going to draw something here, like another star, which would have made it perfectly fine to attack. There's Thoughtcast. Okay, that's a good draw. We have 4 artifacts, so we can draw 2. Tree of Tales. I'm not sure if we played a land yet. So, okay. Just pass. Got a lot of heat in here. And we're just about ready to clean the game up, but we need to draw another fixer. Chain Walker. So he may be trying to 2-for-1 again. If he doesn't unleash this, then he's just setting up for a double block, yeah. If he attacks, I'll block with Forger. We just need to take as many 2-for-1s as possible. And we're at the land count where we can start sacking stuff with the Atog. Two cards, so he might be sitting on a Fire Blast and some other burn spell. We see Incinerate and Bolt. I think they play some number of Fire Blast. Ancient Den's not going to do a lot for us. And we don't have a follow-up play. So we attack with Atog. It's 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. He's almost dead at that point. So do we want to trade off a land for a blocker? Probably fine to do so. And just leave up Forger. He could Fire Blast a Forger and get in for 4. Not necessarily going to happen. Let's attack. And if he doesn't block, he'll take 1. Not going to attack with both. He could Incinerate us to 11, attacks down to 7. Have Fire Blast. Okay, so we're trading off a land for a guy, basically. Alright, well that's all I've got, so... Our lands have effectively been turned into flame jabs. And yeah, he may be sitting on Fire Blast. I'm really not sure about that. I'd be surprised if he attacks. It's just another 2-for-1 that it's going to be pretty rough. I may attack with both next turn. Frogmite. We don't need to show him Frogmite yet, so let's attack with both guys. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. He's pretty much got to block Atog. Doesn't have a choice in the matter. Wow, that's very odd. So I could make him take 11, but it would nuke all my lands. I could see making him take 3, but we're just going to make him take 1. And it looks like he's got a double... He's got some kind of burn for the Forger, which is fine. Had we not waited to play the Frogmite, we could have forced him to take 13, but that also doesn't seem too logical considering the fact we'd be sacking everything. So we've got a handful of gas that we're just waiting for the color fixing, and he's down to 1 card, so I actually feel very good about this. Now going into game 2, we're going to want Hydroblast. We may want Standard Bearer for that enchantment. It's just going to pass. So we have the option of making him take lethal here, I think. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Well, not quite. If we have another artifact, we can go for it. We don't, so I'm not going to sack anything. I'm just going to make him take 3. Then he's dead next turn. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. He's going to 12 here. And he's going to need haste, lifelink, and just about everything else you can think of. Okay, so he's pretty much done. Because even if he can kill this, he has to do it now on his turn, otherwise we can sack it to a Tog. Pitches Fanatic Mountain. Maybe his last card was Mountain, I'm not sure. And there's another Frogmite, so we'll just play that for insurance. There's nothing in red that'll kill this at instant speed. So we're just going to off him. I think we can take out Fling also as a card that can come out. We're going to want the Galvanic Blasts. Pretty much all the creatures just to stay afloat. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Yeah, let's just go in. I'm going to float all this mana. Start sacking stuff. So that resolved. That resolved. So we're basically out of burn range. And we'll lose all the mana. We weren't going to use it anyway. And takes lethal. So there you go. So his deck's got Faithless Looting, Mog Fanatic, Gorehouse Chainwalker, Lightning Bolt, Incinerate. I'm pretty sure it has Fire Blast and Furor of the Bitten, and I think it has Vault Scourge too. So Fling, I just think we're not going to have creatures hanging around, and we're not really going to have a resilient combo kill because we're going to want to use all of our resources turn after turn to stay alive. So that can come out. And I think we can make room for 2 more Hydroblasts. We could also use Benevolent Unicorn as a way to cut down some of his burn, but I don't think that's that great. The Atog is not too good, I suppose, because it only gets big if we sack things to it. But it is a body, and we want bodies here. I'm actually not sure what to take out. We have room for 1 Hydroblast as it stands currently. Frogmite trades with a fair number of things. Sunchaser can block Vault Scourge. We could cut some Thought Casts if we wanted to. I think we'll cut a Tog, but I'm not sure. I guess the Hydroblast really helps because it acts as an extra removal spell. Springleaf Drum I could see cutting. Preordain I could see cutting. Preordain basically will be better as a Hydroblast. And if we had to cut one more, I'd probably cut a Tog, but I'm not sure. I guess we can try cutting 1 Springleaf Drum. Or 1 Thought Cast. Drum is good. It's an early artifact, so we're not bringing in artifacts, so we might as well cut non-artifacts. I think this will be okay. So let's try this out. Game number 2 against Red Deck Wins. This should be interesting. So this hand's keepable. We've got a turn 1 removal spell, a turn 2 creature, and hopefully a turn 3 creature if we can get some more artifacts to show up. I won't bolt a turn 1 Fanatic unless he tries to enchant it. And now we have a Sun Chaser on turn 2, but we might want to play it on turn 3. Make him deal with a Tog. If he plays a Shred Freak, I think we might as well just burn it and try and keep our life total high. Then we have this blocker for this guy, which is pretty good. Oh! Wowza. Well, that's interesting. We might as well use the blast here. We don't know when we're going to be able to use it again, so we're going to end up taking 4 this turn. So he's just going straight out the gates with land destruction. That is something. So we're at 16. Okay, so that could be a problem here. I'm actually going to play the Citadel first so that we can make sure we can get Sun Chaser out. That is interesting. Definitely didn't see that coming. That's probably the only thing he has for us in terms of hoser cards. I think otherwise he'll probably struggle. It would be great if he tried to smash the Darksteel Citadel. That's something I wish would happen, but probably just going to play a hasty guy here. And our Sun Chaser is going to be a 1/1, which is going to be pretty vulnerable to start. Probably take the trade if he doesn't show that he's got a Vault Scourge. But he also will probably just remove this creature. No Star. We'll play Star next time if we can. We'll put up a Lightning Bolt fodder for now. Next turn we can Star and make an Atog. So the question is, do we want to take 2 damage now, or do we want to just trade off the Sun Chaser? And I don't know the answer. We could also Thought Cast, which might be better, just draw 3 cards. Alright, we're taking another 2. At this stage we want to play a Tog and have a blocker. Even if we just trade him off. Which I'm not saying we will do, but... yeah, because ideally, I mean, what are we hoping to Thought Cast into here? Don't really know. So let's add a red. We're going to add red first, see what we draw. Might determine whether or not we want to play this Ancient Den or not. So next turn we can Thought Cast if we keep this alive, which is going to be the question. We can also play Mirror Enforcer, Springleaf Drum, and Thought Cast, which maybe is better. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. But we want to trade with the Shred Freak if possible. And he's wondering if he wants to bolt this. He is going to bolt this. I don't think we sack a land. I think we just go ahead and take another 2. Because the lands are going to be integral, especially if he has another smash. Oh, he's got the haste guy. So we go to 7, so we're pretty low at this point. Pretty low indeed. And there's a Hydroblast. I was just wondering about that card. So we could block and leave up Hydroblast. That seems pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also Thoughtcast right now, but I think my plan is a little better. Block and use up a Hydroblast. Protects us from a Smash to Smithereen, but we also go to 2 if he has one. Yeah, we're pretty close to being dead. So we need him to really just whiff pretty hardcore. And I don't know, if he just crashes in with both, I think we just leave up Hydroblast to block, or to counter any type of burn. Instead of trying to kill the Shred Freak. Ugh! We gotta counter that. But that means we're going to 2. Ugh. Because he's gonna double nuke lands. Alright, well we have to do it. Which is pretty bad. Means we go to 2 and we don't really have many outs from there. But at least he showed us Gorilla Shaman. Yeah, this was a pretty brutal game. Especially getting smashed on with our first land. Yeah, there's pretty much no way he doesn't just kill us right here. Oh! Okay, so we still have some kind of chance. So we have to Thoughtcast and hit Frogmite, Chromatic Star, something like that. It's pretty much our only chance. So I guess we gotta go for that. There's another Thoughtcast that doesn't do anything. Alright, we're pretty dead, but we'll at least play a guy out. Or play a land out. Okay, he's going to show us more cards. Perfect. Inner Flame Acolyte. Alright. So that's also in the deck. Pump itself, gain haste. 4-2 haste. And we're going to be dead. So I don't see why playing that would affect anything. Maybe we have some kind of life gain, but if we had any way to fog or prevent damage, that play doesn't do anything but show us more cards, I think. Okay, so we need to go to game 3 here. So being on the play is going to help us a lot. And I don't know if we want to change anything. Hydroblast seems great, but having some more draw or something might help. I think we're just going to have to leave it like this. Standard Bearer does take some burn out of there. This helps a little bit, but I think we have to leave it like this. So I would love to have like a Thoughtcast back in, but can't really justify it. I guess this guy hasn't been that good because he's early on. He's usually just not worth sacking an artifact for. Alright, game 3. We're going to play first. And we can keep this. We just need to not have anything get smashed, basically. Turn 2 Frogmite. Turn 3, hopefully land Prism Thoughtcast. That's what I'm hoping for. And hopefully no Gorilla Shaman. That would be a beating. Don't want to see that. That's why we lead with the indestructible land, I guess. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We could represent Hydroblast, but Vault Scourge. Okay. Well, this could be a dangerous opener. We have a second Prism. I think we're just going to play Frogmite, though. So if he has Furor of the Bitten, we're going to have some problems. And we can Prism into a land for a Thought Cast, but just hoping not to get bitten furiously. He does have it. +2/+2 for red. Okay. So we can still Galvanic Blast that at some point. There's Hydroblast, so we can take out the enchantment. But it just depends. I mean, we'd need to draw a land off of this Prism. I think we have to play the Prism to fix our colors for subsequent turns. And there's a Galv Blast, but we didn't hit a land. So we can try and Galv Blast that creature next turn. I think we're going to go ahead and just not attack because he could have the Haste Golem. We have Hydroblast, Galv Blast next turn, which is pretty formidable. We also can Thought Cast for blue, which we'll probably end up doing. Try and hit a land if we don't draw it naturally. He's probably just going to blow up this Frogmite and get in for 4. Nope, just attacking in the air. So Galv Blast will work well for us. We should be able to stabilize. We just need to draw decently well. I think we'll be okay. He actually opts to not unleash it. Okay, so we've got sufficient mana to Hydroblast and Galv Blast. I think we still Thought Cast here, though. So if we draw a blue or red land, I think it works out pretty well for us. So we can play a land, Springleaf Drum, and we have both open, rather than the Chromatic Star. I think that's actually what we want to do. And we'll just pass. So we can block, shoot this, and leave up Hydroblast. It seems pretty good. Seems pretty good indeed. He might be going for a Bolt here. Or whatever. A burn spell. And we're pretty well set up next turn just to start playing fatties and stabilize, I think. Oh, he untaps. Hopefully he goes for another Furor on the Vault Scourge and we can... So question here is, do we Hydroblast this? I think we do. I think we just Hydroblast it with the Prism. And then hopefully there's no Smash the Smithereens in our future. But he's not playing like there is. He's playing like he just wants to get rid of this guy. So then we can Galv Blast the Vault Scourge away. Alright, bring it. Just you? Alright, we're blasting them. So we'll trade and shoot that down. It's essentially a 2-for-1. We don't take any damage. And he's down to 3 cards where we're going to be drawing cards and playing fatties. Electrickery does 1. Okay, so this is like... It's still a 2-for-1. And this is a 2-for-1 also. So not a problem. I don't know why Electrickery would be still in your deck against the Affinity deck, but that is your prerogative, my friend. And it leaves him with a Gorehouse Chainwalker, which our Carapace Forger will pair up against very well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play this for 1. Play Carapace Forger, seems good. We can also play this. We can also crack star and see what we draw. 3, 4, 5. Or we could play a Tog and he's nearly dead. Yeah, I kind of like that. So we play a Tog first. We can also Prism and Star and play Enforcer for free. That doesn't seem that good. Let's play a Tog first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play Springleaf Drum for free, or play Enforcer. We should be relatively safe. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. A Tog kills him fairly quickly if he takes any damage from anybody else. So he should be out of gas, or he appears to be out of gas here. Bins a 4th land, and now he's debating on his next card. And it's Shred Freak. Interesting. So maybe he found a Smash the Smithereens, which is going to take us to 7. Actually, we can sack the artifact. See, the Atog is Smash the Smithereens insurance is essentially what it is. And we'll definitely trade a Mirror Enforcer for a Chainwalker and another spell. So we'll just snap block. And we're pretty stable. Bolt. We'll just go ahead and sack it to get the bonus. And he's down to 1 card. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Double Carapace Forger. So we can whack him for 3 with a Tog. We can play a Forger and then play a second one. I think that's actually going to be fine. And I don't see him getting out of it from there. Triple. I almost have 6, but we don't want to do that in case he has a way to nuke the lands. So this is lethal on the board. So he's going to have to block the Atog. He's got 1 card left. There's a Frogmite for free. So we can cast this right now, because the Frogmite will allow us to cast the Carapace Forger. It's a Sun Chaser. So let's just go ahead and attack with all. He needs to block this. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 plus 8 is 21. But the thing is, that would shrink these down, so that actually wouldn't work. We might not even sack anything. Just make him take 8. So now we have to sack at least one thing. We'll sack one of the Prophetic Prisms. Really should not be any way out from here. Got lethal on board. He's going to have 2 cards. So this deck has been killing with just a couple swings. Once you just put this much power on the board, it's very hard to deal with. So he's tapping out for the flashback on Faithless Looting. He's going to have at most access to 1 mana, maybe a Fire Blast, but it's not going to be enough to save him. GG. So we take match number 2 as well. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for match number 3.